Hello everyone, and welcome back to Heaven's Secret 2. This time with Season 2, Episode 3. I had to continue, there was no other way. And let's see what happens. Humans become full-fledged participants in the war, and I'm about to get acquaintance with the third Horseman, right? The Horseman that wants to meet us that badly, that War said he would laugh at him if he could. What do you see as weakness? I think there are two types of weaknesses. Either someone has you in their palm of their hand that badly that they are considered as your weakness, like depending on what they do, you're dependent on them and on what they do. If they break up with you, for an example, you're completely shattered and you don't think that life can go on, or you are weak because you have been weakened in the moment, as in you have been badly injured in battle and now you need time to heal. That's weakness. You are weak in that moment. Not being able to lift a girl in your arms, or not being able to say no to her. Period. Or maybe weakness is the inability to keep secrets or hide your vices. Oof. If you answer this question, you'll know yourself a little better. Episode 3, Getting to Know Hunger. I am so intrigued to know what hunger looks like. I have to know what this man looks like. A few months later, months! Gerald pricked the tip of his finger. A scarlet drop of blood dripped into an empty glass. Yuck. Sammy. I'm gonna look away. Why? Sitting on a bench, I turned my back to them and thoughtfully brushed non-existent dust from my clothes. Ooh. Honestly, that was a nice outfit. Yeah, that's not mine. I'm sorry. No. I don't like them though. Like, that's an okay outfit, but I like this one better. I like this one, so I have to take this one. I have to. Stop at this one. I have to take this one. Oh my god, what is this? Okay, no. You know what? Just go with this one. Just go with this one. Maybe I should try a different hairstyle. Stop at this one. Done. You can turn around. There were 3 glasses in front of Gerald, each contained a drop of blood. Oh, they are training us. Donnie tried to give me a hint, but the former teacher slapped his outstretched finger. Down on the face. He looked sternly into my eyes. One glass contains Sammy's blood, another has Donnie's, and the third is mine. Tell me which is which. I sighed and tried to concentrate. It was important for me to learn to sense the energy of others again. I knew that any immortal could do this, but something inside me was resistant and afraid, stubbornly believing that without Malbonte's darkness I could no longer control anything. I did say something about this in the last episode, that she is literally dependent on his powers. She does not have faith in herself and her capabilities. She thought that she lost everything when she lost his powers, but that's not true. She has to believe in herself. I took the first glass, twisted it in my hands, and peered into the viscous fluid that barely covered the bottom, as if I were performing a coffee reading. It brought to mind a river, cold and clear, and how the water churned, grinding down the stones. This is... How am I supposed to know? Sammy's blood? Gerald tapped the second glass. Then whose blood is in there? I repeated the ritual, considering, looking, and trying to at least feel something. It felt like I was holding ice cream that chilled my fingers. People, how am I supposed to know? That chilled my fingers? Donnie's blood? And the last one? I also felt cold emanating from the third glass, but it was completely different, like touching forged steel. Your blood. Gerald put down the glasses. I asked excitedly, was I right? No. Gerald smiled. Yes, 3 out of 3. Oh my god! Wait, what? Now you're lying. Well done. You... Oh my god! Oh my god, okay? Nice. Keep up the great work, and you'll get back what you lost. Wow, I'm insanely shook right now. Damn. Mom came into the dining room. She looked around the table and, as if guessing what we were up to, shook her head wistfully. And then, quietly, as if a bit embarrassed, she said, "We need to discuss something." Donnie fidgeted nervously. He seemed to have been dreading the moment. Me too? Yes, let's go. Donnie and I followed him. He walked with slouched shoulders, his gaze cold and fearful. Oh, poor him. I'm still shocked that I got all of them right. Wow. As usual, everyone gathered around the table. Some sat, others stood, and one person was looking out the window. But the room was filled with a sense of anxious readiness. A readiness to jump up and rush into battle. The Horsemen will find that horn sooner or later, at the cost of many sacrifices. It's already extremely dangerous on Earth because they know about our existence. Maybe we should wait. No waiting! Yes! We can't afford to wait. We can't afford to. There's no other way. Rebecca and Aragon looked at Donnie. Their gaze made him shrink. He knew what they wanted. Yeah. He managed to pull himself together. He shrugged and then straightened up, meeting Aragon's gaze. Then we'll have to sneak into the school to look into the Earth's eye and help us find the horn first. But Plague will kill him. What if they're expecting this? They're waiting for us to attack the school again. And we will. We'll distract the Horsemen. And they expect me to distract war. We can't set off a series of explosions. Mama will be the bait. Wow. Plague thinks I'm dead. She'll definitely try to catch me. I'm against this. We barely escaped her last time. We need this horn. Viviento silly. I'm not your little songbird. I'll strangle you if something happens to you. That's how she shows love at this point. I'll be careful and return to my she-devil so she can infect me with her poison. Wow! That was insane. While you're basking in each other's affection, I might die. Period. Fear was taking its toll, and Donnie, growing pale, sat down on a chair. Winchester squeezed his shoulder. You can do this. I wish I had your confidence. He looked at Eliza and Mammon, embracing. And your recklessness. Aragon unfolded a blueprint of the school. Where did you get this? No one knows the school better than its teachers. Miss Lane and Gerald helped with the planning. And you and Winchester will land on the roof and create a passage through here. He pointed at the map. You will enter the abandoned wing. No one will be there. You'll go down this hallway. He traced the path with his finger as he explained. Yes or no? Donnie continued Aragon's route. His finger paused at the door leading to the Earth's eye. He tapped on the spot and said hopelessly, Here, Red, Winchester. Yes. The target is the Earth's eye. It's not a rescue operation. Donnie must enter leave with you or die. They can't take him alive. Donnie sank back into his chair. Thank you for the vote of confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Alive or dead, I don't care. Thank you. Everyone was silent, not daring to argue with Aragon, and only Winchester answered firmly. I'll get Donnie out safe and sound. Winchester is the only one with a heart here. Good, I don't doubt you, Simona. Yes? Our training session awaits. Today? Every day. Always. Thank you. But shouldn't we go with them? The Horsemen need you, and me for that matter. We won't go back there again. We can manage without you, but I want to see my baby Malbonte! Oh! I hate you all. I want to see my soulmate! Aragon left the office expecting me to follow him. Donnie and I made eye contact. I'll see you at dinner. If I don't become the Horseman's dinner. Donnie! I mean, it's black humor. I don't blame him. As I was leaving, I heard the smack of a hearty slap on the back, followed by Mammon's voice. An immortal only feels alive when he's on the brink of death. Mammon! You're all psychos. Nah, he has just lived a long time to know what real life feels like. The door closed, silencing the voices. Another exhausting training session was waiting for me. Jesus Christ. Just Why don't you want me to go there? I want to see Malbonte. People, I'm upset. I want to see Malbonte so badly. It's been over 1.5 months. At first, I could barely even register Arrogant's movements. He struck without mercy, and after our training sessions, he would glance indifferently at the marks they left until my regeneration erased these reminders of my incompetence from my body. Damn! But over time, my reflexes improved. My hearing became more acute and became more agile. I love this, though, because this shows the capabilities of a human being. Like, we don't have immortal powers anymore. And we technically turned into a human again, just like we are. We are humans. We're not supernaturals. I'm talking about us, as in the real world. We're humans. And this technically is just showing that with training, as in with endurance, with willpower, we're capable to achieve so much. And you can never give up. You always have to keep on trying, even if it's hard, even if you have the feeling that it will not give you anything. It will always pay off. That's what this lesson is right now. I love this. There were fewer bruises. After 2 months, the grueling daily training sessions began to bear fruit. Yes, I couldn't attack, but I defended well. Don't be afraid of pain. Block. He shouted at that a moment before he struck me with a beam of light energy. I covered my face with my hands as he commanded. Arrogant had intentionally created a situation where I couldn't dodge his attacks. The light burned my skin. Tears of pain streamed down my cheeks, but Arrogant shouted, attacking without hesitation. Suppress the pain. Don't lose focus. Keep moving. More. I wouldn't want to have him... honestly... I would and I wouldn't want to have him as a teacher because no one likes pain, but sadly, pain is the best teacher. Psychologically and physically. The more pain you have to endure psychologically, the more pain you can actually be in while being capable to perform your daily duties. He gave orders incessantly. This chatter made me lose focus sometimes, but honestly, I like his training method because this is him saying, don't give up. You are more capable than you give yourself credit for. You can do this. And he keeps on attacking you because sooner or later your survival instinct kicks in. And you're like, I'm not gonna give up because you want to live. So you keep on fighting more and more. This is him subtly saying, you can do this. You're powerful. Do not underestimate yourself. This chatter made me lose focus sometimes. Control. And yet, his remarks helped me improve during the fight, yes? As always, the training only ended when I could no longer stand, even under threat. I was lying on the ground, arms out to the sides, breathing heavily, feeling my sweat flowing down my temples and soak into my hair. It lasted 3 hours, 20 minutes longer than last time. Oh, thank you. Hooray! Me! That's not enough. A fight can last for days. I'd get up, but I can't feel my legs. I think you broke my spine. Damn! Arrogant unleashed another burst of energy in my direction. Continue to lie there. Roll over. I rolled to the side. The ball hit the ground, leaving behind a small hole. Reflexes still work. You can move, so you're fine. Very funny. Me. Sometimes I wanted to wipe that calm look off Arrogant's face. I wonder how Donnie's doing. Is he safe? See Vincenzo and Donnie's adventure. See Vincenzo and Donnie's adventure. Come on. You're not playing as Donnie. Thank you. Just let me see this, man. Wow, okay. Shit. A rush of air from behind slowed my fall. My wings seemed to be frozen as if my body still couldn't come to terms with my ability to fly. Vincenzo grabbed hold of me, tightly squeezing my wrist and pulled me back onto the roof. He brought his finger to his lips. Quiet. My legs were unsteady and I kept stumbling over the protruding edges of the tiles. Get down. Crouched on the roof. Blake shot from the skull like a bullet, flying away. Mem laughed. That demon should see a psychiatrist. It would do him good. And just crouched low and hurried along. What's a psychiatrist? He looked around, pressed his hand to the roof, and closed his eyes. I should be here. A flash of flame erupted beneath his palm, and a muffled explosion rang out. We looked into the wrestling hole. The hallway was empty. Let's go. I'm sorry, But this sound must have attracted someone.
No one was there. We went a little further, and the horsemen flew out of the main entrance, going the same direction Plague had. We hid behind a pillar. Will he be able to handle this? He must, and we moved on. Damn, I wanted to act tough, but my legs were shaking so badly that I couldn't find the strength for it. The horsemen, I'd forgotten what it felt like to be around them. It felt like your guts were inside out, and all your strength had been sucked out of you. They treat madmen. What? A psychiatrist. Some of them work with people that have serious issues, like Mammon. We need to take a ride here. Winchester looked around the corner and gave me a sign. You don't like Mammon, do you? I like him, sort of.
Sort of.
I couldn't stop talking. Fear forced me to keep talking, to drown out my thoughts so I wouldn't have to listen to them. I was as good as habit. I was as good as bait, or cannon fodder. What the heck? I said it was the guardian of the ice cross to bear. I should have said no back when I had the chance. Fucking coward. Wait, it's here. Winchester slowly opened the door. Nothing had changed. The statues continued to watch over the statues continued to watch over the Earth's eye motionlessly, as if guarding the secrets it held. When I first came here, I'd been seized by the same thrill that tormented me now. Back then I felt important and powerful, and I felt like I'd been run over by a steamroller and left to die.
Damn! I mean, that's a lot of burden to carry that he's having right now. Like, he does not know where to put himself.
What would have happened if I hadn't crashed on a motorcycle 10 years ago? Would one of the horsemen have killed me? I shook my head. Please have the getter, you idiot. I approached the bowl. Don't let me down. I waved my hand, causing ripples on the surface. Show me the horn. The eye lit up and opened its veil of secrecy. Damn, it's bad. Donnie, we have to leave. I found the horn, but what's wrong with you? Winchester was standing in the middle of the hallway. The door was open. He looked pale, like he was about to throw up right on the floor. It would have made me laugh if I wasn't so scared. I took a step toward him and suddenly felt it. A malaise swept over my body. My strength disappeared in a second. My legs wouldn't obey, and my stomach twisted like I'd just eaten at the college cafeteria. Oh God, they're here.
Oh God, he's here. Hunger is here.
Hunger, he's here. Don't pass out, Winchester, let's go.
Oh right, he's Hunger. So he controls yeah.
We ran as fast as we could down the hall, back towards the hall. Somehow we made it to the rooftop.
Wow.
We'd made it halfway. We weren't dead. I looked into the eye and even found the horn.
Oh, wow. I'm not gonna say that word.
Maybe I shouldn't tell him. But damn it. Are you listening? We have a problem. If we lose consciousness, that will be a problem. I didn't erase the eye's memory. If they hurry, they'll be able to see what I saw. Diablo. Damn, I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. Okay, doesn't matter. We won't risk it. I promise to bring you back alive. Arrogant would disagree with you. To hell with Arrogant. Let's fly.
Hey, maybe Winchester is jealous of Arrogant. He was our mom's mentor.
The farther we got from the academy, the faster strength returned to us. I survived, but the eye wouldn't let me rest.
Uh-oh. What did you see, sir? Donnie, Winchester, and Mammon arrived at sunset. Everyone came back in one piece, despite the fact that Mammon had taken a beating during the chase. Damn. He figured out an escape route. He flew between the cliffs, which interfered with the passage of energy. In time to use a stone and teleport back. He was at home, licking his wounds. Donnie and Winchester were reporting what they'd seen.
The humans have created a separate division in the military to fight the immortals. It certainly looks like a pathetic attempt, but they have some kind of amulet. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but it's definitely not ordinary.
Donnie looked flustered. He kept swallowing, losing his train of thought, and repeating things several times over.
I need to calm down. To remember the amulet. Can you draw it? I have many talents, but drawing isn't one of them. Any distinguishing features? Hell, I don't know. Continue. His amulet, a stone, helps him recognize immortals even when they take other forms. It starts to glow.
Anticipating Mom's question, he impatiently said,
What color? I don't know. They eye sometimes distort and changes colors. Where could they have gotten it from? The Horsemen.
Why would they do that? Everyone was silent for a moment as they mulled it over.
Did you find the horn? Yes, the leader of the group has it. He also has the amulet. Then if the Horsemen gave them the stone, they would have taken the horn long ago. But we have a problem. We didn't have time to erase the memory of the Earth's eye. The Horsemen will see this place.
Aragon closed his eyes and exhaled slowly. The anger flashing in his pupils instantly disappeared.
Then we need to go get to the horn before them.
I'm sorry if I'm thinking like this, but we still have 2 horns. Don't they need all horns? If they get one, then it doesn't matter, right? We still have 2 horns. The next day, I went outside at the agreed time. They didn't want to take me down to Earth, but Aragon stood up for me. He probably wanted to see how I'd hold up in a real fight. Right. Sometimes I felt like I was his guinea pig. That definitely. How resilient is an immortal without special power? Is it possible to become a good warrior while relying only on the body reflexes? I mean, you can be. He is teaching you to be capable to withstand the pain of an immortal's attack. Like, that's an insane power if you're capable to pull through that. There was no one else outside, only Dino was training. He threw balls of energy at the target, simulating a fight, turning on the run as he turned from the air from the ground, and he always hit the target. I watched him from the side, not daring to interrupt. It wasn't long before Vinchester, Liza, and Mimi came out.
Is everyone here?
Not exactly. The door swung open and Addie came stumbling out, still pulling his boots on. Addie.
Damn, I overslept.
And you expect us to take you on important missions?
Actually, Eric and Rebecca saw potential in me.
He lifted his chin proudly. Oh gosh, that was not my intention. Why is it always me?
Just imagine I'll destroy the strongest human base and become commander of the Wing Rangers.
Sir. Eliza impatiently fluttered her wings.
All right, that's enough. The fate of heaven may depend on us. You've fallen around.
We soared into the sky and flew to the portal together, keeping pace with each other.
According to the mark Donnie left, the horn is somewhere around here.
We're on the roof of a building, where our sharp eyes could see the human base without being noticed, unless they had a rifle with a scope. I cringed, imagining a bullet hitting me in the head. Of course it wouldn't kill me, but it'd be unpleasant nonetheless. The base consisted of many small buildings, old and damaged by explosions. The area was surrounded by a fence with warning signs placed around it. That's an electric fence.
So what, we'll just fly over it?
Yes, of course, no one will notice us in the sky. Not suspicious at all. We took on human forms, but if Donnie was right, that probably wouldn't help us. Then what should we do? So what, we'll fight back? We'll fight back! I tried to convince myself of this. Mortals were inferior to us in many ways, but I knew them too well not to feel some anxiety about the mission. The gates opened, and a black SUV slowly drove into the base. Soldiers with machine guns at the ready surrounded the vehicle. One went up to talk to the driver, and several others examined the bottom of the car and the trunk.
Humans make everything so complicated.
Some of them have strange weapons. Pointed at one of the soldiers. Okay. He looked fine. Let me stop. Judging by the way he gave orders and his coldness toward those who were in the vehicle, that man was in charge.
Mortals never stay still. They're always coming up with something. In the time you've been dead, a lot of things could have changed.
Possibly.
As long as they're here, let's not waste time. Simona and Mimi, stay here and keep an eye on what's going on. Addie, you need to set traps. I'll help you. They'll explode as soon as any human walks into them.
Who?
Eliza and Dino, you know what to do. Yes, be careful.
Eliza squeezed Mimi's hands and mine before jumping down with the others. Cute.
I don't understand why they're so tense. I'm talking about Vinchester and Mom, and the others. They're just immortals. Attacking their base will be a breeze.
I'm offended by your disregard for humans.
Come on, I'm serious.
I have a bad feeling about this. Something's not right here. I have the feeling that this is a trap, like. Mimi was sitting on the roof, playfully swinging her legs as they dangled over the edge. She grinned, peering at the humans rushing around the base, sometimes moving her wings when something caught her interest. If any humans saw her, they couldn't believe their eyes, but it was just a matter of course for her. I continued to closely monitor the military and their weapons. What are those flasks instead of magazines, so they don't shoot bullets? But what then? There was an explosion on the other side of the base. Flames rose into the sky. Mimi burst out laughing. The show is starting. The soldiers scattered in different directions like ants, whose anthill had been disturbed. The first shots were fired. The man in charge grabbed the briefcase from the vehicle's window. The SUV turned around. The screeching of tires, the roar of the engine, and the rattling of the suspensions subsided to the sound of gunfire, and the silence that followed panic reigned. Did you say that? Could that be it? I kept my eyes on the briefcase. I'm not sure, but it's worth checking out. The leader ran for a distant building, but Dino blocked his path. That's it, he's done. Haha. The mortal wasn't frightened, and he didn't try to escape. He raised his machine gun and fired without hesitation or warning so swiftly that only a mortal could dodge. Dino jerked to the side, not to dodge a bullet, but because he'd noticed that it wasn't an unusual weapon. The strange substance from its flask grazed his shoulder. At first, Dino didn't pay attention to it. He took several decisive steps towards the leader, intending to neutralize him, but suddenly froze. Yeah. There's something inside. I would say there are flasks that are deadly to immortals. Dino looked at his shoulder in confusion and then fell to his knees. Mimi and I screamed at the same time, horrified, and rushed towards the base. In the meantime, the man disappeared into the building. It only took us a second and a half to reach the base. Our disguise disappeared the moment we entered their territory, revealing our true forms to everyone. They extended the stone's influence in the same way Malbonte did. Who taught them that? Did he? I don't think so, but at the other time, it's not like he has a choice. He's like trying to keep face. Mimi put Dino's head on her lap. What's wrong with you?
The wound, it won't heal.
The liquid had burned through his shoulder like acid. Dino was feverish. He couldn't speak clearly from the tremors that seized his body. Because of that weapon, he needs help. Dino, how could you let him hurt you? It's because of that weapon.
Move away.
Eliza rushed to Dino, pulled him close, and tore away the cloth near the wound, beginning to examine it.
Not healing.
Dino clenched his jaw from the pain that shouldn't have been there, that he should have been able to suppress, but for some reason couldn't.
Relax.
Eliza touched his temples. Dino stopped trembling as Eliza's power influenced him.
Bastard.
Ooh! Addie was running towards the same building where the leader had gone. Oh, I love Addie. He's like, karma, bitch, is coming for you. Karma's coming. It seemed like he'd seen what happened. No, wait! Addie, he'll kill you! I ran after him, consumed by my own doubts and frightening foreboding. Simon, I'm coming with you. Of course, why don't we all just jump into the fire? Mimi took my hand and rushed forward. Stop, this weapon is dangerous to all of us. I only need to touch this mortal, and he'll do whatever I ask. Ooh, let's go. Mimi, the secret weapon. She opened the door with a flick of her wrists. Period. We tiptoed slowly inside, clinging to the wall, and walked along the deserted corridor. Mimi whispered, I can feel the energy coming from here. Me too. The horn is in that briefcase. There's no doubt about it. Path of composure. Mimi resolutely moved on, quickening her pace. I overtook her, stopped her, and gestured for us to be even quieter. Wait, they shouldn't know that we're here. We need to come up with a plan. We shouldn't just barge in, okay? Why not? Because we might lose? Lose? It was clearly incomprehensible to Mimi that a human could beat us at something. Assessing the strength of your enemy accounts for half of your success in combat. Knowing his strength, you can identify his weaknesses. Is this your training with arrogant talking? That torture is paying off! We stopped near a lone door, listening. It was unnaturally quiet. Mimi grabbed the handle. Wait, what if it's a trap? Addie's in there. Maybe he's already killed everyone. Stay here. I ran back, stopped at the door we came from, and after pausing to collect my thoughts, kicked it. I kicked it so hard that it flew off the hinges. Period. We have supernatural strength, and raised a column of dust where it fell on the ground. That's the power of an immortal. I'd forgotten what it felt like. Period. You are a queen. Use your powers. Picking up the fallen door, I ran back to Mimi. Have you lost your mind? Nah. I regained my mind. We'll use it as a shield if he shoots. He'll hit the door. Follow me. Another kick, and we were inside. As soon as we stepped through the doorway, I instantly felt an impact. I felt like the force of a bullet. I staggered to the side, but straightened up in time, tightly clinging to the makeshift shield. The strange substance left molten holes wherever it touched, and I could see through them. But the leader continued shooting. It wasn't long before the door looked more like a sieve that could barely cover our bodies. Our chances of getting kept increasing. Damn it! I threw the makeshift shield right at him. The weapon rolled to the side. This is my chance. Only one step separated us. I was sure of my victory, but suddenly I heard Mimi's choked voice. Simona! I turned around with a sinking feeling, already guessing what I'd see. Another mortal was pressing the barrel of the weapon to her neck. The green liquid in the flask shimmered. Oh no!
Russ, we just weren't ready for them.
Addie sat on the floor, tied with golden cords, but they tied him up in a completely different way than the mortals did. They'd bound not only his wings, but also his arms to keep him from moving. Where did the humans get these? Who gave them all this?
It turns out that there are weapons against you, kind see.
I looked back at the leader. Not us actually having to fight the humans now as well. Not them pulling an Eldaria. Oh god. He stood there pointing his weapon straight at me.
Eric, tie her up.
Another soldier came out of the adjacent room, stretching a golden rope with a vile smile on his lips. Try it! Fear flashed in the man's eyes. They still fear us. They better fear us! I'm not gonna let myself be tied up. Am I stupid? You want to tie me up? Then you better try better. The leader shifted his weapon slightly, drawing my attention.
Better cooperate if you and those other two don't want holes in your skulls. I think you already know from your friend back there that it won't heal so easily.
I let them tie me up. I fucking hate it. The rope stuck painfully into my wings and arms. Why did we even come here? Just to get tied up? With the danger gone, the leader of the humans lowered his weapon and carefully looked at us.
I thought you'd take us out. It's not that easy.
Mimi laughed.
Damn idiots. Don't be so hard on them. They're just mortals. Eric, shoot them in the leg. That should calm them down.
No need. I glared at Addie and Mimi. Shut up! Mimi rolled her eyes in response. Where did you get all of this equipment? The leader sat on the edge of the table.
Do you have names?
I'll tell you even more. I was a human once. His expression changed. Horror, interest, and contempt flashed across his face.
How is that possible?
I died and became a demon.
What's your name?
His voice grew harsh, making his question sound like an order. Why would I tell you?
Simona. I can't with this woman. Don't worry, you, Simona, helping them destroy humans.
We aren't destroying you. We're saving you. He looked at Mimi with cold disdain.
This is what salvation looks like. Do you even know what's going on?
Enlighten us. Instead of saying anything, the man threw a diary at me. I'm sorry.
We found this on the boy's corpse. A child, really.
He nodded at Eric, who loosened my bonds slightly so that I could take the diary. It was burned in some places, and the edges of the paper were swollen and wrinkled from moisture. The pages crunched as I opened it. What? Oh god. In recent months, the earth has turned into a scorched wasteland. Honestly, I thought that this was like some sort of foreshadowing that one of the horsemen was capable to, I don't know. And I skipped one dialogue again. I hate myself. I'm so sorry. I hope that you still could read it. I thought that, I don't know, that a horseman was like capable to see the future and then like picture out what could happen or what will happen. And then they just like put it somewhere where the humans could find it, and that's why they prepared themselves for the worst. Every person on this street has lost someone dear to them. I had no idea how easy it was to die. A girl, you died yourself. Shouldn't you know how easy it was to die? That disease could be so dangerous and medicine so useless. Oh god. I also had no idea that people could be so cruel. I do. Dad stabbed Mom. They suddenly began to quarrel and fight. I'd never seen them so angry. But the worst thing is that at the moment I wanted them to kill each other. I don't know why. I'm still scared to think about it. Dad and I don't talk about what happened. I was afraid the cops would take him away, but Dad said the world had gone crazy and no one cared. And then the endless wars began, one after another. A third of the population died. Damn! It was on the news. Well, back when there was television, nothing works now. Yeah, because of all the war, yeah. No connection to the internet anymore. The entry stopped there. There was more writing a couple of pages later, but in a completely different hand. Handwriting, maybe. More adult but clumsy, with sharp curls and nervous dashes. Yup, handwriting. The world we remember no longer exists. People are panicking. The infrastructure has collapsed. Yikes. A few new states are all that remain, with new laws and regulations. Look at what the Horsemen accomplished from being up in the sky, people. Where everything is controlled through weapons and discipline, otherwise you won't survive. They don't engage in military conflicts, and they don't let anyone in or out. They sit in fear, closed off from the whole world, waiting for the end of everything. Fields, factories, storehouses with food, everything was devoured by the blue flames. Beautiful, outstanding. The food rots before our eyes. A worldwide famine is upon us. I hope that I said the word right. I know what it means, but I hope I said it right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Oh, not the cows, people. I can't do this anymore. Rolf kept drawing and writing and then stopped. He doesn't have the strength to hold a pencil. I decided that I continued to do it for him. That's all I can do. We don't have much time left. Yikes. So this book, as in what he threw at us, is a diary with the views of all the people that had to go through the experience of when war started. I used to think that this was people's fault, that it was inevitable, but then the gods descended from heaven. Oh god, those creatures. And that's when I realized that a higher power wishing death upon us was responsible for everything. Oh god. Yeah. And those are supposed to be the shadows from the Horsemen. If they want us to die, who am I to go against God's will? Wow. I can feel their hatred, and I am beginning to feel that hate myself. Oh god, war. War. People, this is what happens when you let war live. I'm gonna stop. People, I love war. Like, I'm in love with war. I'm gonna start his route after Malbonte. That's brutal. Like, to see the chaos he creates in the world, and to know that he actually would wish to just be dead, as in to not be involved in any of this, but he can't do anything about it because it's inflicted by the universe itself. That hurts me, because he can create a lot of damage. We need to end the suffering. I cannot go on. I can't watch Rolf die. I hate him for being weak, for being dear to me. I hate him. Yeah. If it wasn't for the pain I feel for him, I'd feel better. It's time to end this torment. It's time to end. Oh my god. Stop. This hurts me. I threw the diary back towards the leader. I wanted to erase the despair that had soaked into my hands from those pages, to dispel the trail of blood and death.
They drive us crazy, make us suffer. It's worse than just dying in an instant.
Yeah. He crossed the room in 2 steps and leaned over me.
Why are you doing this? Why do you want our demise? Why now? I already told you, little man, that we have nothing to do with it. Really?
The leader approached Addie. The demon tensed and pressed against the wall. Warily looking at the weapon hanging from the soldier's shoulder, the leader took a knife from his pocket, squatted down, and stabbed it into Addie's leg. "Why are you like this, sir?" Addie shuddered and hissed briefly, experiencing pain for a moment, which she must have suppressed immediately. The leader pulled out the knife, watching with icy curiosity as the blood soaked into his clothes. But the wound immediately began to heal, and a minute later it disappeared without a trace. The leader chuckled. That was exactly what he'd expected.
"How can I trust you if you're the same as those who destroy half the world?"
"Yeah. Because, just like you, there are also good people in heaven, sir. That's why. Just because we're all made of the same flesh does not mean that we're all the same. Like, there are still good people out there in the world. I would like to believe so. And I would like to consider myself as one of the good guys. I don't believe that the entire world is doomed yet. I don't want to believe that there aren't any good people out there anymore. I will continue to believe that there are still good people out there. Not everyone is evil."
"We shot at them, chopped off their limbs, blew them up, bombed them, cut them."
"Yeah, they're the Horsemen."
"But they yelled each time in an instant. How is this possible? What are you?"
"I'll tell you." The man turned to my voice. "I'll tell you if you tell me where you got this weapon and the stone." He smiled, stood back up, and slowly returned to me.
"It seems that someone wishes you harm but wants us to prosper. And we're grateful to our secret friend."
"Secret? Have you seen him?" He won't answer, but something tells me he really hasn't seen him. Of course not. I doubt that it's Malbonte. I always want to believe that Malbonte has something to do with it, people, because he's like that secret weapon that is capable to either screw you over or save your life. Like, he can be both. And when it comes to us, he always showed the safe part. So I always want to believe that it's him. But since this man is shooting at us, I don't think it's Malbonte that provided him with that weapon. You wanted to give that briefcase to whoever was in the car, right? Why did you change your mind?
"They couldn't hide or defend themselves. You would have easily taken it from them."
"Why do you need it?"
"Why do you?"
"If it falls into the wrong hands, we won't be able to save your world or ours." He gave a short, unsettling laugh.
"Yours don't look like the right hands either. You'll be more useful to us as guinea pigs."
Of course, like, it's always like this. As soon as you have something that makes you special in some sense, you will start being hunted down. You will be experimented on in order to help the community, even though you have to go through the torture. The rest of humanity has something from it, and you die as the guinea pig. The word guinea pigs makes me so mad, people. I connect so much suffering and hatred with that word.
"Can you be killed by a shot to the head from our special weapon? What if we just cut off your head and bury it? Will you die?"
I didn't know the answer. Could an immortal regrow a head? What am I thinking? Damn, this isn't funny anymore. I need to do something.
"Perhaps we'll start with you."
Of course. The leader of the humans gave a sign, and his lackeys took out a chainsaw. "Just try it, freak. I'll kill you. And believe me, you won't go to heaven." "Mimi will be your prison guard in hell, sir." "You will be thrown into the pit, and you will rot in agony. Period, Mimi."
"You son of a bitch."
Oh, right, they want to try me, right? The leader of the humans paid no attention to their shouts. Fear paralyzed me. You won't achieve anything by doing that. You just signed your own death sentence, freak.
"You did that when you destroyed our planet."
I didn't do shit!
"You'll tell me everything."
I will tell you shit, since you're already willing to kill me. The deafening roar of the chainsaw made me flinch and crawl back towards the wall, frantically looking for ways to escape.
"What are you? Why do you want to exterminate us?"
I don't want shit! The soldier brought the whirling blade of the saw right up to my face.
"Answer me."
I won't tell you shit! Oh my god, Addie and Mimi, I love them with my entire heart and soul. They are like the best friends. Oh, I love them. I love them. Period! Fuck you!
That's not what I wanted to hear.
And you will not hear what you want to hear. He nodded to Eric, who brought the chainsaw even closer. The air around me vibrated from the rattling motor, and the chain sliced through the space. I closed my eyes, trying to concentrate on suppressing the pain, but my body trembled treacherously. I couldn't convince the human part of me that death wouldn't follow. The moments of horror stretched out before the chain cut into my cheek, and a wave of sharp pain washed over my whole body. And then there was the sound of an impact. Huh? I opened my eyes. The chainsaw, still running, lay on the floor. Blood flowed down my face. I hurriedly wiped it on my shoulders, staining my clothes, blinked a few times, and looked around. The leader and the rest of the soldiers lay unconscious. Period! Who saved us? Addie and Mimi were looking at me, their eyes wide from fear, but something was wrong. Did someone stop time? Is that a thing? Because if they're still paralyzed with fear and we're fine, then that means that they're stuck in time. Or is it just me? They were pale and emaciated, as if all the strength had been sucked out of them. What's wrong with you? Look at the... Oh, I hate it. Eddie opened his mouth, but it seemed his tongue wouldn't listen to him. Oh, okay, so they're... Okay, that was just me. I managed to get up and, pressing my back against the corner of the table, struggled with my bonds for about 10 minutes before I freed my hands. Then I untied Mimi and Addie, but they continued to look at me from under half-lidded eyes, unable to stand. What's wrong with you? I took Mimi's hand, but when I let go of it, it fell limply. What happened here? The briefcase lay on the table where the leader had left it. I went up to it, examined the lock, and decisively tore it away. I carefully opened the briefcase and looked inside. Will you look at that horn? A huge stream of energy was coming from the horn. Something similar had emanated from Sifa's keys, but that was pure bright energy, and this was fraught with danger. A danger that was different from the power of darkness or even the power of light. Something alien, unlike anything else. I reached out to take it, but an unfamiliar male voice made me freeze. Okay. He is not what I expected. I didn't expect Hunger to look like this from the CGI that we got in episode 1 of season 2. But he's not ugly. He's not ugly. I would think I have to get used to his face, but he's not ugly.
Interesting.
I immediately recognized who he was. By his gaze, which held a millennium of boredom, by his deadly aura, by how calm he was, as if he understood that no force in the world could break him. He approached, stepping over the bodies of the humans, barely noticing them. You all know that I find guys like that iconic, don't you? I find people like that iconic. They just step over them. Addie and Mimi didn't seem to exist at all to him. Hunger looked no less surprised than I did. For some reason, he was amused by what he saw. I looked again at Addie and Mimi, weakened and debilitated, sprawled on the floor. So they were affected by the appearance of the Horsemen? But why don't I feel anything? You don't have power over me? Did you spare me on purpose? His lips curled into a grin. Ward did tell us that he wanted to meet us.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose? For a few moments, Hunger looked into my eyes as if waiting for me to succumb to his influence and fall at his feet, devoid of the slightest strength. Hunger knocked everyone around us out, and I would think for the immortals it's something different. It's like we're lifeless and devoid of any strength, and apparently we're immune to that. That's why he said interesting, but nothing happened. I didn't know what to do. Run? Maybe attack him? Every action seemed ridiculous. Hunger slowly tilted his head as if he wanted to get a better look at me, and then extended his hand to the wound on my cheek. What should I do? Oh, how am I supposed to understand that? To people, I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to just take every chance to make out with a horseman? What is this? Honestly, let him touch you. I'm intrigued to know what he's gonna do. He had long, thin fingers, and his skin was icy. But the touch was barely perceptible, almost weightless. A piercing cold burned my cheek. I shuddered but didn't recoil, feeling the wound heal. Did he take the wound from us? Huh? A cut appeared on his cheek in the same place where I had mine a second ago, but he brushed it away and it disappeared as if it never existed. He can even take away the pain? Wow! Hunger touches almost no one, but you're an exception. All right then.
You don't feel sick around me?
No. I pursed my lips, hardly daring to speak to him, but still answered. Period! No! Hunger shook his head again, looking at me. His lips stretched into a smile, a most ordinary one, human, devoid of madness or rage. People, take me for a fool. I still believe that I'm right, that we're capable to absorb the powers. And since we're capable to absorb the powers of everyone around us, we're immune to the influences of others, you know? Or maybe it could be since we're both, like we are a former human and now we're an immortal. You can see it as some sort of hybrid situation. So we're immune to his influence, maybe. The usual smile that a friend gives you over a cup of coffee. But his eyes remained empty, and a cold devouring melancholy gleamed in them. I backed away from him, knocking into the table behind me. Oh, he has green eyes. I didn't notice. I thought it was like this bright blue, you know? From the look on his face, I realized that he wouldn't stop me, that he understood my intentions. I stretched my hand towards the briefcase, but Hunger grinned and said curtly,
Don't.
Who are you to stop me? Let me stop. He won't give me the horn, but he'll let me go. I ran over to Mimi and Addie and helped them up, but they were like rag dolls. It was difficult to keep them upright. They trudged, almost falling, stumbling over anything in their path and each other's legs. Could you weaken your influence? Hunger's lips twisted again, his face blazing with disappointment this time. He answered indifferently in an almost lazy way.
It's beyond my control.
Oh, he's also not having his power. People, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but look at his face. He's like, it's beyond my control. Like, I have this influence on everyone around me. As soon as I get close, they like fall to the ground, devoid of any strength. I would say that technically it would make sense, like, that they're all weakened, because if you don't eat, if you don't drink, you start getting weaker and weaker until you inevitably die. So it would make sense that as soon as he appears, as soon as he's around them, since he inspires that feeling in other people, they feel like they're devoid of any strength. So it is beyond his control. Just like the fact that war inspires hatred in others. It's beyond his control. He can't control that emotion. It's not like he can say, okay, Simona, I don't want you to feel hatred when you're around me. That's interesting. So he has no control over us? I stared at him, not realizing that I did so for too long. But Addie's whisper brought me to my senses and I shook off my confusion.
No.
Yeah, sorry, honey. Yes, 1 second. Hunger stood in the middle of the room without moving, half turned towards me, boredly watching my nervous attempts to get Addie and Mimi away from there while he did nothing. I have the feeling that he's curious. He's curious because, his powers don't have effect on us. I pulled the portal stone from Addie's pocket and took one last look at the Horsemen. That's a hot look. I'm sorry. That's a hot look. Now that I think about it, he is fine. Like I said, he's fine. I just have to get used to his face. I wanted to say something. My lips parted in a silent question, but the stone flashed blue and we were sucked into the portal as it opened. Meanwhile, what about Dino? Following that, the door swung open and Plague entered. Oh god, no. She looked around the room predatorily, kicked one of the mortals, and looked at her brother. Yeah, where is she?
Is it here?
Yes. He's not having it. Plague approached the horn and ran her hand over it. She froze and looked discontently at Hunger. Can she feel a presence? Oh, period! Honestly, I love it. I love it. Suck her energy out of her.
Stand back. You're draining my power. I don't like it when you stand so close to me.
Hunger bared his teeth, which barely resembled a smile, and took a few steps back. Yeah, it's a hateful smile. Plague hated it when he smiled like that. Girl, then don't provoke him like that. She knew that Hunger was hiding his pain and vulnerability behind that smile, but his arrogance angered her. His pain? Hold up here! What are we talking about pain? Blake hated the age-old contempt in his gaze, as if he were above the entire world, above her. Girl, everyone is above you. The horsewoman ran her hand over the horn again. Someone told the humans that it was valuable, and gave them weapons and knowledge. Wherever that was, and whatever their goal was, it only helped us. Hunger was silent and didn't even look at his sister. Can you hear me? What? He looked into her eyes, lighting a cigarette. I love his attitude. I love his attitude towards her. Like, Blake is like this attention seeker, you know? If you don't give her attention, she just gets mad and tries to torture you in order to get your attention. He's not giving her any attention, and that angers her. Blake could feel her accumulated energy flowing towards him with renewed vigor, period. She didn't let on that she was getting weaker. What the hell are you smoking? Your soul. Oh wait, you don't have one. The only thing I like among the mortals' inventions. He's actually smoking a cigarette. I love it. He blew smoke right into her face and smiled again. I love this man. I love his attitude. Hunger knew she was afraid of him. He knew she hated him. Yeah, she's afraid of him because he's capable to absorb her powers. That's interesting. That's interesting, people. What if we're the fourth horseman? People, I come here with ideas. We're immune to Hunger's powers. We're immune to his powers. Plague hates us and needs us, and War was capable to fall in love with us. Maybe it's just all saying and I'm completely off, but like, I just have the feeling that we're special in a certain sense, you know? He's capable to absorb the strength of others, so that's why she doesn't like him standing too close to her, and he devoids every other person around him of their strength, but he couldn't do the same with us. I didn't know that we could be immune to an horseman's powers. Doesn't that mean that we kind of are capable to match their strength if we're immune? And he didn't care. He didn't need anyone's love. Not hers, not his brother's, nor mother's. Oh! And for that she hated him even more. There wasn't a mortal here. She didn't feel anything while standing near me. Plague again looked at the horn, took it in her hands, and examined it from all sides. Hunger took a deep breath, and slowly releasing the smoke, said, Excuse me? People, he is another love interest. He's another love interest. He had no influence over us, and now he says, I want her to myself. Excuse you. Plague wanted us to herself. She said we're her puppy. Now War fell in love with us, and now he finds us interesting, so he wants us as well. Oh my god. Malbonte, you gotta step up your game here. You gotta step up your game. The horsemen want me. People, it's gonna end up in a foursome or something. I am so sorry, people. You know I'm straightforward. You know I can't help those comments. I want it to myself. Woo! Plague laughed as she took the horn. If you want her, you'll have her. Oh! I am so sorry, people. Okay, and that's how they ended. Alright, be like that then. I cannot. What is this? Okay, this episode was a little shorter, in my opinion, than the second episode, but I like it. That was a nice cut, and honestly, I find it exhilarating that War wants us, and now Hunger wants us as well. Two horsemen want us. Plague just wants us for his satisfaction. But War wants us like he's actually on the brink of falling in love with us. And honestly, I have the feeling that he already fell in love with us. But he doesn't want to admit to himself that he fell in love with us, because as soon as he does, he dies. But I have the feeling that he thinks he will die as soon as he falls in love. But maybe, just maybe, that's not the case at all. He can't die as soon as he falls in love. Maybe he unlocks another power as soon as he falls in love, as soon as he's capable to let the opposite emotion in. But this is interesting. Now, two horsemen want us, and Malbonte still didn't move his ass. I'm so sorry. I still haven't seen this man, and I'm suffering. What is it gonna take for this man to show up on my screen? Do I have to beg? But yeah, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.